Hey guys. Oh my God. So, oh my goodness, you're going to love this story. I'm so glad there's a few of you waiting. I'm so glad you guys are here. And I already have 2 thumbs up. You guys rock. Okay, you made my day. And I'm just getting my phone set here so I can kind of follow along. Anyway, so I'm upstairs working and I was like, oh, I'm going to come downstairs around 2:30, blah, blah, blah. I don't know what time I thought it was. But it was already like 3:45. So I got down here and I'm like setting up my other computer and just looking at other things and thinking, oh, what am I going to do? And getting this all set up here. And I'm thinking, well, let me get all these things together and check my setup and everything. And I start checking my setup and then I looked at my clock and I looked at my clock again and I looked at my watch and I looked at my phone and my computer and I'm like, holy crap, it's almost 4:00. So I've been like working like a whirlwind to try and get stuff all set up here. So holy moly. Okay, let me find my channel. Hello, Paula. Good to see you. How is everything in the UK today? I hope you're having good weather. It's finally getting hot here in the middle of the United States. So today's high is like 90 with like 60 or 70% humidity. So it's kind of gross outside. Thank goodness for air conditioning. Yay. Hello, Ms. Tamp. Nice to see you too. Glad to have you both out there. For everyone that joined me last week during the live stream and used the link to fill out your address, I sent out your happy mail yesterday. So for those of you in the US, you should be seeing it soon, hopefully by this weekend, which would be great. And for my overseas pals, you'll see it in a little bit. You'll get it when you get it, I guess. But I hope you guys enjoy it. I was able to send out 3 cards to everybody. And some of you got some of my light up cards. I just had a whole bunch of them and I wanted to get them out to people before they didn't light up anymore. So enjoy them. I'm sure you guys will. Okay, so Paula says cold and wet. We've been boiling. Oh, so yeah, so you had a cold front come through. Well, I guess that's a nice change of pace then, because hot up in the UK is not so much fun, if I recall correctly. So, and then Nancy, welcome. And you said it is sunny in San Francisco, 75. So my husband and I lived in Vacaville, California for 4 years. And we loved the bay breeze that would come in the evenings. And we even had a fireplace in our house that we would use during the winter because it would actually get cold enough to use it. So it's a lovely part of the country. So I'm glad you're joining me today. Anyway, I seem to not be as exhausted today as I was earlier this week. I was really like dragging butt and I thought, oh my God, what is wrong with me? So anyway, then I found out that my golf partner ended up testing positive for COVID-19. And I thought, well, isn't that just splendid? Like we've not been golfing in the same carts and we haven't been like near each other. But there was a time about a week and a half ago over Memorial Day that I thought that, I mean, we had a little conversation with each other and we were standing kind of close, but not super close. Like, I don't know that we were 6 feet away, but we didn't have masks on. We were down at the clubhouse getting ready to go golf. And I thought, well, you know what? I'm just going to get myself tested. So I got myself tested yesterday and I actually got my results already today and they came back negative. So yay. I don't have COVID-19, which is great. But the exhaustion was really there. So maybe I'm just like exhausted from everything that's going on in the world. I don't know. But I feel better today. So that's good. Just for you guys. Anyway, nice to see you, Heidi. Glad you're here. And Sue, and 80s in Connecticut. That's kind of warm. Enjoy that too. Okay, so yeah, I'm glad I'm okay too, Sue. If it was just going to be this fatigue kind of thing, it would have been okay. I would have obviously made it through without a problem. But I know that, you know, it can get so much worse, right? So, oh my goodness. Anyway, and at least it's just me and my husband, really. So if there had been a positive diagnosis, then he probably would have it too. But I'm confident that he would have made it through okay as well. But anyway, don't have to worry about it anymore. So, you know, just continue to stay safe and what have you. So since then, actually, the funny thing is that I decided to set golf aside for the rest of the season, even though the season just started, because I'm just so darn busy. And to be honest with you, I'd rather spend time here with you and in my craft room and doing all the things that I'm doing for all the companies that I'm working for. And golf just takes away from that. I'm not a great athlete, so I really have to try at golf and I have to practice. And if I can't get enough practice time in, then I start to get really bad really fast. So it just wasn't really worth it. So anyway, I set it aside and so I could spend more time refining all my craft stuff. So yay. I know you guys are thrilled for that. Okay, so yes, thank you everyone for the well wishes. I'm going to flip down and we'll start talking about today. So I said we've been making so many little pieces lately, backgrounds and all that kind of stuff, that this week was definitely going to be a scraps week. My brain just kind of forgot the word for a minute there. So yeah, so it's going to be a scraps week. And the card that I did for Tic-Tac-Toe Challenge is this gorgeous card. It came out this morning. And I used basically scraps from everywhere. So I've got like my strip spin now, which I really like. Every time I cut off like a 1/4 inch or a 1/2 inch strip or a 3/4 inch strip, it goes in here because I can use it to make sentiment strips. And this has been working out really well for me. I thought it would like overflow eventually, but I use so many sentiment strips that it stays pretty manageable. And I have a pretty good group of colors in here, so I've not had a problem with that. I really think this was worked out well. So I had my sentiment strips. I picked out a piece of green from there, and then this little Dodec piece I pulled out from my bin here because I just did a class with Alta New for the dodecagram kit. So I've got tons of little pieces in here. And then you guys know that I've got my big bin here. So I've got all sorts of, like, remember all those card fronts that we worked on last week? So we've got all of those. Actually, I'm just going to pull these out because this is really what I want to work on today. And then these are actually like cards that are finished but not quite, or need to have something just attended to in order for me to finish them. So but these I think are finished enough that I'm going to just leave those aside. I don't think I'll need anything else from here, so we'll put this away. Okay. So I have this whole pile of fun little, basically backgrounds. And so this background came from last year, believe it or not. So this was, I did a whole series of Halloween SVG cut files for your, like, your silhouette or your brother scan and cut and things like that. And then I did a series of Distress Oxide, yes, words, Distress Oxide blend combinations and ideas to go with them. So it was like all Halloween themed. And this background was one of them. And I started working on this one too, just to give you an idea. So the background was actually without this orange peely stencil on here. It was just the background from the yellow to the orange to the purple and the spatters. So I started working on it and I added in this stencil, and then I added in some embossing powder. So I'm going to finish this one up and show you guys. I'll do the same thing kind of like with this. And actually we can use the white on here and everything. So what I think I'm going to do is just start pulling some of these out and turn them into basically mixed media backgrounds. And show you guys what you can do with them. Okay, so apparently I caught my finger here and I cut myself on my knuckle and it won't stop bleeding. Okay, Let's see, a playlist for that series on the SVGs for Scanning Kit. I might. It was called Distress Oxide Blends for Halloween. And I don't know that I necessarily talked about how to use the scan and cut or the silhouette. I have a silhouette right now. I might get a scan and cut. Anyway, yeah, so this was a moon, and I had, it was a big, there was a witch on a broomstick riding through the moon. It's really kind of cool. So, and then this one was an overlay that was like all bats. That was very cool. And I think I had some other ones, but I think I either used them or they were kind of non-fixable, so they ended up outside of the bin. Okay, so I might have to get up and get a few things as we're going here because, like I said, I was like mad dashing it to get things because I didn't realize what time it was. Holy moly. Okay, so let's talk about this one. Okay, so I used, so remember last week we used the creative medium, the shimmer. So there's also a creative medium that's just clear. And the interesting thing about this, if you read the side here, it says it's for collage, decoupage, toner-based photo transfers, which sounds really interesting. I might have to try that. Onto paper, acrylic, metal, and more. For best application, use brush sticks or ink blushers, clean up with water. Okay, so it's not necessarily designed to be used this way, but it absolutely works this way. And it's really cool because it's clear, but it also darkens up the area behind it. So I ended up getting these darker colors to come through, which was really a cool surprise on that. Okay, so then the next thing, I need to get my heat bin. Okay, so I need to rearrange a little bit too. I have this thing of water here because I figured I'd be using stencils and I didn't want to always be, oh, you know what? I'm just going to put it back here. And as I use stencils, we will pop them in there. So that way I don't have like an electrical situation. That would be no fun. Okay. All right. Oh, and I need. Nice. I can just grab these from the top. Okay. So if you're not familiar with Imagine Crafts embossing powder, you can get some of their colors at Simon Says Stamp. And you can get them from imaginecrafts.com. And they have all sorts of different fun colors. The one that I used was this metallic berry. And I kind of like that they're in these envelopes or packet sachets, if you will, because they're really easy to manage. And then you can also just dump it right back in. You can, when you're using your paper, you just pour it right back in, which is kind of nice. So for this particular project, I didn't put any embossing ink down. I just did this. Just kind of poured it on. And of course, to get it to, and I can kind of spread it around with my finger if I want. Right. And then to get it to stick, instead of heating it from the top, that's going to blow it everywhere, I heat it from the bottom. There we go. And then once it's mostly melted, I can come on the top and make sure that it's done. Oh yeah, absolutely. So Sue, of course, yes, I could have used water, but here's the thing. This is Distress Oxide on here, and I didn't want to add any more little oxidation spots. So if it happened to move off of it, I didn't want that to do that. So heating it from the underside works just as well. And sometimes it works better. You get a more even spread of it. So the cool thing about this particular embossing powder, this is called Metallic Berry. And in here, it doesn't look particularly metallic. It just looks like a nice fuchsia color, is that it does have a metallic sheen to it beyond just the glossiness. So it's really kind of cool. So this is like officially mixed media, right? And it's not hard to do. So if you think that you can't do mixed media, you definitely can. Definitely can. So I have the big white Dodec, but then I also had some of these as well. So like I could add, maybe I go this direction with it. Okay. Extra stuff on here. And then, no. Sometimes I go a little crazy. You guys always have to keep me in check on this, right? Less is more when you're doing something like a scrap bin project. Oh, here. That would be cool. So it just says, wonderful. You used this a while ago. Here's one that's cut a little better. Either one would work. Yeah, let's do that. And then I can just grab another little sentiment strippy thing and add it in. So, I mean, you could see how, like, when you're using your scrap bin, that of course you can come up with something really quick, because I already had some of the base colors with the purple and the orange and the yellow. And then I just kind of played off that a little bit more. And then I wanted something that was going to contrast. So I popped in this green for the sentiment. And because it was for a challenge, I had to fit in a heart. So there is a little teeny tiny enamel heart right in the center here. And that counts. Oh, you want me to put Wonder over the darker spot. So like that. I could flip it over and do it this way. Do you like that better? Because then you can see it a little better. Hey, Becca. Becca, I think I know who you are now, but I'm glad that I'm glad that you say it so that other people know who you are. Awesome. Okay, so yes, Sue likes it here. Okay, so the question is do we want to add a little Dodec behind it too? No, that's too much. Too much. Okay, so I'm going to grab some card bases. I wasn't going to do card bases. Now I kind of feel like I need to. Well, you know what? No, I'm not going to do card bases because I might trim it down and put it on the card later, and that'll save us some time. So you guys will just have to live with the wonkiness a little bit, because I'm not going to put these on card bases. Okay. So I have a question for you guys. Do you use liquid glue? And if you use liquid glue, which brand do you use? Do you use Tombow, or do you use like Gina K? She's got a really good glue that a lot of people use. I got to use it at Creativation. Actually, I got to ask Gina about it, what the difference was. And I mean, obviously she likes hers better because it has her name on it. No, I'm just kidding. She likes hers better because she likes hers. I'm just wondering, because for me, like the little nozzle on here doesn't bother me. For some people, they like to have more of a precision tip. Okay, a small alternate flower. Let's see if I have anything in here. If not, see, I've already got that piece on there. It doesn't have to be an alternate flower either, guys. Oh, that's what I have most of. I don't think I have any small ones in the scraps bin. I used a lot of those the last time. No. Everything's kind of big. I'm kind of feeling geometric anyway. So, I mean, I could do that, but I don't think that looks really good with that. But we're going to put a sentiment strip on here. So, wonderful. Oh, here. See, that works out well. So this wonderful is from Pink Fresh, I think. I don't remember. But this sentiment from Altenew says, "You're all kinds of wonderful." So I'll just use that one. Oh, and let me grab. I wanted to grab some VersaFines so we could do something instead of black. Let's do, let's pick out a fun color. Let's do yellow, maybe. Come here, pink. This is a thicker strip. How would we work that? Oh, I know what we can do. Okay, so let's do the yellow. Oh, running with scissors. Because it's funny. So Sue wants to know why I call this series Running with Scissors. Because it's funny. It's definitely eye-catching. People laugh at it when they hear it because it's funny. And because sometimes it's like tonight where I'm just kind of free-forming it and just, or, you know, doing whatever. I'm not like, I don't have an agenda or a plan. So I need a black. So that's why I call it Running with Scissors. I'm a rascal. Oh, that's a good one. Okay. So there. I wonder, does it need a strip or bubble shadow? Oh, yeah. So how did this one work? I can't remember. I'd have to go back on the blog and look. Obviously, there was the wonderful on the inside of this. So this was probably the shadow to it, but I cut out the inside of it. So that's just the scrap piece. And the thing is like on camera, it doesn't really, it's hard to see, but in person, you can really see the wonderful. So I think it looks okay without a shadow on it. That's the tough thing about video sometimes is sometimes it's really hard to show you the depth and dimension of things when you're dealing with not top of the line equipment for sure. Okay, so what I want to do is grab some scissors, maybe some of this. Okay. right. So this would actually just kind of finish this one up. Okay, so while I'm finishing this one, let's pull out a couple of backgrounds. I've got that one. I'll pull out different ones so it's easier for you guys to say which one you want me to use next. And yeah, okay, I'll bite. Here's 3 backgrounds for you guys to pick from next. Either the splotch, the stripes, or the embossed. Okay, so the splotch, Sue says the splotch. Awesome. Dinner. What's for dinner, Heidi? So I didn't get this quite straight on here, but I can trim off the foam. And you'll never see it. So instead of just putting that on there like plain, I could just do You Were All Kinds of Wonderful, and that would work. I'm gonna break it up. There's an orange theme going on tonight. Okay. I can deal with an orange theme. I like an orange theme. There. It'll work. Cool. So yeah, like I said in person, this looks really good. So I just need to, I might actually crop this down and do it so that there's a border, a white border on the card base, but that one looks pretty cool. Awesome. Okay, so let's see. Orange, embossed, 1 stripes, orange theme, watch all 3. Okay. You guys are not helping in the decision-making process at all. That's okay. Okay. So if we do this one, we have to do a lot. We don't have to do a lot to it, but I think we will do a lot to it. Although, let's not do a lot to it. Let's just do it simple. So Mega Brush Alpha, have you seen this yet? This is from Holtz New. It came out last month. And I don't normally go for an alpha set that I have to do this to. But thanks, Becca. Thanks for the support. But this one really caught my eye because it is big and I liked the brush strokes and everything. And I thought I might actually use this one. So let's use this one, huh? Okay. I am going to put, am I? No. What I really need for this one is, okay. So what I really need for this one, because it's kind of, it's wonky. And if I'm going to stamp a sentiment on that, I need it to be flat. So these are my sticky grid sheets from Sizzix. And this is like a leftover piece. Sometimes I cut them down and I put them in my stamp positioner. So what I'm going to do with this one is just put it on my thing here so it can hold this down flat. And I'll be able to stamp on this space here and I won't have to worry about getting shadows and such. And if I need to move it, I can move it. Okay, so we could just do a simple hello. So I'll do a hello in here and then maybe we just add some spatter and that's it for this one. How about that? Okay, so with these guys, you have to work it so that these little brush strokes end up coming together. You do actually have to kind of stamp them individually so that they join up together. And I don't know if you saw me doing this, but I just am using my hand to kind of condition this. There might still be some, I haven't used this whole set yet, so there might still be some film on here or whatever. And just using your finger to get it to turn kind of like a cloudy color is enough to help it stamp well. Okay, so I'm just going to do this in black so we have a nice high contrast going on here. Now, if I really wanted to, I could put this in my Misty so it, if I had to restamp it, it would be okay. But I'm using Versacolor or Versafine Claire, so I'm not concerned about it. Look how beautiful it is. This is hot press watercolor paper, so it is very, very smooth. So H and an E. So you see how like I've got to overlap it a little bit so that it looks, if I put it over here, that's just going to look kind of too choppy. So I want to overlap them to make it look like I've actually hand done this. I could have gotten a little closer on that. That's okay. Sue, I'm glad you found the Sizzix sticky grid. It is really great. Okay, so here's another nice thing. Instead of having to do the two L's separately, this is called, I think, a ligature. So it's got the two L's already in it, which is super nice, very thoughtful. And I know I haven't used this one yet. So, Sue, I use the sticky grid sheets for all sorts of different things. This being one of them. I will put them inside my my Misty or use them as intended. They're really just great. Yeah, I love that it's the double letter because now I just have to put the O on here. And this one doesn't have any kind of loop or anything like that, so I can just put it right next to it. Ha! That's awesome. So simple. You know, I could do the same thing to, I could do it on this one. That would be kind of cool. I would actually maybe add, okay, so with this, I would either add another color here or I would cut this down so it was really small and then I'd have the bigger sheet behind it. Okay, so let's do this one next, yeah? This, Paula, I can take it off and I can stick it up on something if I want, or yeah, I could put these pieces right back over it. It's basically like a double-sided Post-it note. So it stays sticky as long as it stays sticky. Usually until I get embossing the anti-static powder on there, because, you know, then it just, it loses all of its stick. Okay, so actually I want to leave this out because I think we'll use this again with this one here. But let's do, let's do some spatter on here. I'm going to pull out my splat box just because I have so many things around. Okay, normally I wouldn't do that, but I have all sorts of things hanging around, so I don't want to, get anything spattered. Okay, so this is the Firework Spray by Imagine, and this will have some shimmer in it. Okay, so there. So there you go. That looks pretty cool. Yeah, Heidi, I use them in my Misty sometimes too. If I wanted to, I could add another, you know, sentiment strip on there. Or I can just leave it plain like this. So a single one layer card. I think that looks pretty cool. Awesome. 2 down, guys. Okie doke. So let's do another word. Throw out some words for me. I'm gonna cut this down to the size it's going to be in the end. So this is so I cut this down to 5 by 3 1/4. Oh, smile. I think that's a good one. Okay, so let's do smile. And I'm going to set it up. I'm using the grid here. Okay, so this is the Ulta New self-healing mat, and it has the extra lines in here for your cards. So I'm going to set this up so I can find out where this is the center line. I'm going to find out where the center line is on this. So smile would be S-M-I-L-E. So the I is going to be in the center. So if I just did a smile right across the center, that would work. Here we go. So what's soon? Oh, and you know what? Okay, so I'm going to do a different color. Let me find it. Okay. Purple or blue? So dark purple or navy, basically. First person to tell me. Oh, gotcha. Purple. All right. Purple it is. Okay, so I know my center line is here. And it doesn't really matter where I put it. I could just do smile across the bottom or in the center-ish. Okay, so Versifying Clair works the same no matter what color it is. It always inks really well. Now this paper is the Ulta New watercolor paper, so it's got a little bit more texture to it. So let's do the end first. So I-L-E. Oh, Heidi, you and me both. So to be honest with you, I don't know how many colors of the VersaFine Clear I would have if I wasn't a designer for Imagine Crafts. I do, not that I don't love them, but I guess I just didn't know a lot about them. So that's one of my goals in the second half of this year is to educate about VersaFine Clear because it's a ridiculously awesome ink. Yeah, it's very cool. Okay. And yes, Heidi, I too want all the things. And I put in an order yesterday, with scrapbook.com. And I'm doing an order today for Ulta New. Even though I'm a designer with them and I get lots of stuff from them, there were some other things that I wanted. Like I wanted more of the blending brushes, if you saw those come out today. We did get one as a designer, but I want more. So I'm getting more. You and me both, Heidi. Okay, I don't know. Okay, so here's what you can do. If you don't know what to do. So this is just a piece of, so I just stamped this on a piece of clear whatever, and I need to figure out like where I want that to go. Because the M is kind of weird. Let me add in the S. Okay. I can't do this because I can't see it. Okay, so if I do that, and I guess I just need to bring the M underneath the I like that. You see how that works? Because see, that's what the S and the M looks like. But if I leave it way out here, that doesn't look right. So I want to bring it in a little closer. Okay. So it's always good to have like a little piece of clear or something around to do that with. You could use just like a window sheet, a piece of clear acetate or whatever. I like the M, I really do. I don't know that there's only one M. I mean, I guess I could have, no, the W doesn't even really work upside down. Or you'd have to maybe mask it off. I don't know. I mean, together the S and the M look really great. So it's going to look fine. All right, so one thing I didn't take into account, and actually what I should have done is stamped it all out on here first to figure out where it was going to go. See, we're learning along the way. Is that the ILE is much smaller than the S and the M. So really the I was not the center, more like the middle of the M here was probably more of the center, but that's okay. We can fix it with an exclamation point. Yep. There we go. All right. So this one I think is going to look really good. I will do a navy blue border around this one. And I think that'll look really awesome. And again, if I wanted to add a sentiment strip on there, I could. Let's see, I bet. Where is sentiment strips 2? Smile. Here, we'll do this. So done with that. There's always a fix. Always, always. Okay. So that's a fun one, the Mega Brush Alpha set. We might come back to that. You never know. And then I think what I'm going to do is say smile. No. This one. Have a super day. And no. I could do yellow again. Pink would work. I just do white. Or I could just, you know what? I could just stamp it right on there. Let's just stamp it right on. Okay. There. Excellent. All right, guys. 3. Okay. So we did those first 2. What could we do? This one is something completely different. What do we do with this one? Any ideas? This kind of activity really makes my brain work a lot. I'm thinking we do birthday or sympathy. Okay. I like the sympathy idea. Although, remember how last time we said that it kind of looked like the earth? What if we did something like together we can do great things? Stamp background images on it. Yeah. Okay. You guys like that one? All right. So we got to figure out how we're going to work that in because it's kind of a funky shape. Like I think it really just needs to go like right here. So we can do that. I just need some cardstock to make that happen. Okay, so this is Forest Glades. So if I did that and then stamp it in navy blue and then cut it in a circle. Yeah, you guys are getting that color. So we kind of got like this earth thing going on here. All right. It looks kind of black, but you can tell here that it's not quite black. So definitely more of a blue color. When it dries, it might look a little more blue. Okay. So that, and then I need a die. So I have my infinity circles. And I always like to see what it looks like with one that's closer to it versus one that's farther away. I think we'll do the smaller one. Maybe we'll do a matte with this one. I don't know. All right, so let me cut this one out. And then if you guys, if you have any ideas along the way, shout them out. Yeah, I like the smaller circle too, Sue. Okay, so there's that. I like that coming together. So a cream matte behind it. Yeah, that would help it pop. Or let's do, I like that idea, but let's do it so that it's not a matte. It's just like a thin circle, and we kind of set it off. I'll show you what I mean here in a second. That'll work. Okay, so basically I just took 2 of those of the circle dies to make the little frame, basically. So I could do something like that, or I could do something more like that, which I like better. All right. And look, I'm almost done with my circle foams. I'm just using the outside bits. Yay! Okay. So I like the way that is better. Yeah. Case away, Sue. Go for it. Absolutely. And then I need just like a little piece. So working with these little frames, you always just need a little bit of something to support it if it's going to be popped up. So just that little bit of foam there will help. Oh, and then, okay, so I've got that. And then I wanted to add in some thread. This is the new, also new metallic thread trio. And this is not silver, it's actually called Silky Lilac. But it looks silver enough for sure. And I know some companies, the thread, you can break it with your hands. This is actually more like an embroidery floss, a single strand. So it's actually, you could put it into your sewing machine and sew with it. It's definitely that dense. Okay, so let's see what that looks like. Yeah. Okay, so I'm just wrapping it around my 3 fingers. That gives me a size that I think looks pretty good. And I'm just going to attach it kind of right there. I don't mind so much how it ends up going because I can adjust it, or I can pull it off completely and try it again if I don't like the result. Okay, I don't like the result. Pulling it off. I really like working with thread, but it can be finicky. That is for sure. There, second time's a charm. All right, so I've got a little bit of that going on, and then it needs more texture in my mind, so I'm definitely going to be adding in some sequins. Okay. And should I do, let's see what the green looks like on. Should I do the green mix? So there's and coppers in here, or should I do white or gold? Green, white, or gold? Gold. Okay. Green mix. All right. I said first answer. One wasn't an option, Miss Tamp. Either green, white, or gold. All right. So these are the Altenew mixed sequins. And these little ones like to pop over. So I always put them down dry first, so I know how it's going to end up looking. That looks pretty good. Okay. And then I like to use the On Point glue. It's very similar. So this is from Imagine Crafts. It's very similar to I can't think of the name of it. The Ranger Multimedia Matte. I can't. The words I think I have in the wrong order, but you know what I'm talking about. And then Nuvo has one that's like this as well. I think I want to try the Ranger one because it has a matte finish to it. This stuff dries glossy. So if your pieces move around, you end up getting a little glossy spot. Or if it oozes out from underneath, you get a glossy spot. So it's not, I can't say that it's a favorite. It's just what I use. Matte medium, that's it. I just happen to have a lot of it, and I'm trying to use it up before I buy the matte medium. There. All right. So there we go. That turned out into a cute little card. Another little mixed media kind of deal. And it has a little bit of silver shimmer to it. Remember when we made this last week, I used the silver distress spray. So, or the pewter distress spray, that's what it was. I like it. All right. Okay, so that was our first three. I went with the flow, you guys. You asked, you said, oh, you could make something with all of them. So I did. There you go. Okay, so let me pick these up real quick. Let's see, what else could we do? If you see something you like, shout it out. I don't know what I was doing with that one. That one would have to be cut down. I must have been experimenting. So these are, I don't know what I would do with this. I'm sure I could do something cool, but I can't think of anything right now. All right, any of these guys striking your fancy? This one purple and orange. This one. Okay. Let's do let me see. So I don't want it to be too close to this one, right? Because we already did one that was like that one. Columbine would look kind of nice on there. Thoughts? Kind of like a galaxy Columbine. Ooh, maybe. I have a die for that. Or we could work on the Lotus. Columbine. Sue says the Columbine. Okay. All right. So those need to be die cut. I don't know if we'll use it or not. I'll set it aside. Let me get these cut out. And there is a stem and everything with this one too. I think we'll just use just one, maybe just the dark one. We can always cut more if we need it. And I would bring over the mini blossom to cut this out, but my table's kind of full right now. Okay, well, actually, so before, well, no, let's cut this out. And then we'll go from there. So we might cut out more things. I might actually come back and just cut that right on the line. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, so I'm thinking we're going to add, because that looks really cool, kind of like a galaxy looking thing. But let's get crazy with it. Yeah, okay, so let's use the tiny bubble stencil. Oh yeah, let's see. Okay, so we could do it this way. Or this way. So I think it's kind of calling to me more this way, like a night sky. But I think I want to add that to it. I just don't know what color. Let's do, I think we'll do it in purple. Okay, so hydrangea. Maybe this and maybe this. Okay. So I've got hydrangea here. And we're going to mix that up with let's do modeling paste. We'll see how this goes. So this is modeling paste. Michael's, get this at Michael's Liquitex. And it's very similar to the embossing paste from Altenew, although the embossing paste dries with kind of a foamy feel to it, whereas the modeling paste dries with more of a hard feel to it. It's still pliable, but it's a little harder, and sometimes I prefer it over the soft spongy look. Okay, so this is hydrangea, and where are my, here. Okay, and yes, silver would work, white splatters would work, water splatters, all that would work. I'm trying to do maybe something you guys wouldn't expect. We might add those things in too. You just never know. But I wanted a little something. I don't feel like this is the right color. Okay. It needs to be more pink. So since I already have that mix up, see, I want something that will go a little bit more with this, and I think that's too purple. Let's see if I add a bit of this pink, if that helps. It will, it just needs more. There we go. So this is going to go well with that, but it's not going to still go well with that'll work. That'll work. Okay, so I don't want to put this everywhere. I just want to put this in some places. And so the reason I went with the embossing paste or the modeling paste, whichever medium, is because I wanted it to be opaque, not transparent. Okay. All right. So this is going to go into my water bin. All right, so yeah, this is definitely going to need some more to it, and I got a water spot up there, so probably going to get some water spatter on it. So let's do that, shall we? Controlled splats. All right. So there's your controlled splat. And let's just get a little, let's get a little hot on this. That's fucking really big. All right. Oh, yeah. I kind of thought you did, but I wasn't sure. But okay. It needed more texture anyway, and it wasn't all going to be these little bits here. Okay. So I like that. And let's get, I need a stem, and I think I am going to do like maybe 2. So I'll pull in the second lightest one. So let me die cut those, and I will die cut a stem just out of some colored cardstock. That means I don't need that. Just need this. I could do some leaves. I'm not sure if we'll need it or not. Yes, I have a Make Art Station. I just always forget to pull it out. And it works pretty good. Actually, now that they have the other, have you seen the magnetic rulers for it? It comes with a magnetic ruler that's all just a magnet, but they have another ruler that has more heavy duty magnets in it. I'm really interested in getting those to see how that changes me using that, because it looks like those rulers will be even better than the one that it comes with. So, all right, so I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to cut a stem. bright green, muted green. Let's do the muted green. So that works. I think I might be able to cut this off here and use it for this one. And then I really do think it needs leaves, don't you guys think? Landscape. Okay, so let's look at it, landscape. Everything we've done has been mostly... Thoughts on that? And that looks kind of cool. Looks like these little bubbles of color are coming from the flowers. It's kind of funky. Let's flip it the other way. That covers up most of the texture paste or the embossing paste, whatever. I'm looking at it in the camera to see what it looks like that way. Sometimes you see something different when you do it that way. Okay, if I did this, I would probably add more texture over here, but I kind of like the way that looks too. Okay, so yeah, let's do this. Let's do it. Stick. So that, okay, I really don't need this right now. Oh, just one flower. It looks kind of lonesome, but we could add some leaves to it. And then I was thinking this would be kind of crazy. I don't know if you'll be able to see this. So I was going to put this down here, maybe, with deepest sympathy. So yeah, let's do that. And I will, actually, I'm just going to use the one leaf. And okay, so that's going to work well. We will do evergreen on this cardstock. Yeah. Okay. So if I die cut these, and then we'll do that in black. All right, guys, this is a true community card. It is coming together. Okay, so I'm going to set this aside. Let me grab my Misty. Maybe. I'm like literally running out of room here. I love it. Yeah, I think that turned out really good. Okay, so comes the sentiment. I really, really love the fonts on this particular set. The kind of typewriter font with the handwritten cursive is just really pretty. One of my favorites that came out recently. Well, came out earlier this week, I guess. Okay. That and that. And then the Columbine will go here. And I forget. I feel like this needs to be the dark green. Now that I'm seeing it. So you know how we fix that? Sometimes you use just what you have at hand, and that did not work. I guess I'll be using my fingers. I want to give it a little texture, but I didn't want it to be solid color either. And I'm really drawing a blank as to how these leaves go. I saw somebody do it earlier this week in the design game, and I can't remember how they look. So I'm just going to kind of leave it like that, and I will figure it out later, and then I will post a picture of it. All right. Yeah, I really like how it, same thing like you were saying there, Becca, how it kind of glows in the sun and then it shifts off into the purple. It's really kind of cool. All right, so I will figure out the leaves. I'm just drawing a blank how they need to go right now. And it's already 5:30, guys. Holy moly. So here we go. I will figure that out and get it posted for you. I may add in a second one kind of in the background or something. I'm not sure. But that one I will finish and then I'll post for you. Awesome. Sue, I didn't even know you were gone. I'm sorry. Did I miss it? You said you were going to start dinner? Anyway, it's already 5:30. So that means that it's almost dinner time over here. We did lots of fun stuff with all of my scraps. I mean, we didn't really make a dent, but we did a lot of cool stuff. So we did that one and we did this one. And this one will go on a navy blue background. And then this one, okay, so this one, now that it's dry, these little orange speckles here, oh, you can't see, are shimmery. So I really like that. Super cute. And then we started off with Festive Friday, or not Festive Friday, Tic-Tac-Toe Challenge. And then this was kind of a riff on that one. So look at all the fun things that you can just, if you've got all your scraps around, you can make all sorts of really cool things. So in the next couple of weeks, I'm going to be making some shifts in how I do my Thursday running with scissors. It's not, I mean, I'm still going to do it and we're still going to have fun and explore all sorts of different things. I'm not going to be doing Festive Friday and Tic-Tac-Toe Challenge for much longer. So I'm going to start rotating in some other techniques and learning things. So if you have any ideas of things that you'd like me to share or techniques you'd like to see me do for you so you can learn how to do them too, let me know. And, let me flip you up here real quick so you can see my beautiful face, my tired face. Anyway, yeah, so things are the format's going to change just a little bit. Don't be scared. It's going to be fun. And I think you guys are enjoy it even more and get a lot of good ideas out of it. I might even do something where I share with you in advance what stamp set we're going to be using. And if you have it, you can join along with me and create maybe something like that. But anyway, I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. And I will be back again next week for episode number 12. We're just going to keep chugging on and having a good time at it. So thanks for joining in today. And I hope to see you guys out on, don't forget all those great blog hops that are going on. We've got the Columbine blog hop. I think that one is still open for comments for the giveaways. And we just started a blog hop today for the new Ulta New Stamp and Die release. So there will be giveaways there. I've got a new sketch starters challenge. That's one thing we're going to be doing is I will have a sketch every week that we'll be working from. I'm not sure if it'll be the same one all month. It might be. I think I'm going to do the same one all month. So that way we can get a whole bunch of different ideas. But so take a look at sketch starters. I've got my post coming out tomorrow for that. So there's a new sketch starter. And that's another giveaway opportunity for an alternate gift certificate. So join in. If you don't play, you can't win. So, and there's no harm in playing. Just go out there and share all of your fun, crafty goodness. Anyway, have a great week, everyone. Stay safe. Enjoy the weather. And have a good time crafting, okay? I will see you guys next week. Bye.